Hey everybody, did you just think I was making one video today? Come on. We're going to go down to Armenia today. This is called Carahunge, and I'm sure some of you have heard of this. This is out on a point, kind of like the ancient city of Ani video I made yesterday. You notice a lot of activity out here, dating back thousands of years. You notice there is a small stone mound right there. Backing out just a bit here, this place certainly had views all around here. Most likely looking at the heavens here. Here is a look from the stone mound. The surrounding landscape here, the standing stones. This is an necropolis out here, they say. Where they're looking at the stars and aligning stones based on their cosmology out here. It seems to make sense. View of the distant landscape there. Here's a look at some of the standing stones at the site. Some of them have holes drilled in them. You can see there at the very top, the large one there. It says the name Karahunge is interpreted as deriving two Armenian words, kar, meaning stone, and hunj or hunch, meaning sound. Thus the name Carahunge means speaking stones. This interpretation is related to the fact that the stones make a whistling sound on a windy day, presumably because of the holes drilled in some of them. This place has been researched in the recent decades. There has been proposals about certain astronomical alignments, and then other people come in here and they kind of debunk those, and nobody's really positive of what this stuff was aligned to, or for sure the general purpose. In 2004, by parliamentary decree, this was officially named Carahunge Observatory. Here's a view from the site. Notice this isn't the only place up on top here that there appear to be stone structures of some sort. Pan around, you get an idea of all the stones up here. From overhead, this looks totally different up here. Here's a smaller stone circle, but what this was all aligned to and the purpose, seems we cannot get a general consensus on this. Here's a look from the site. Stone circles. That tells us that they were observing the heavens. At least it does to me. But there was also some burials up here. You see some little stone mounds scattered throughout the area here. Certainly a very interesting site. Probably built between 5000 and 6000 BC. Here's a view looking north. Here's the entrance into the stone mound here, the probably burial chamber. And the cairn here, or the stone mound. Standing stones around it. And the alignment here, if I'm looking perfectly north there, that might be facing a winter solstice sunset. That is just a guess. Here's another look. Common sense says this was an observatory. They were aligning things to the heavens. The holes here in the standing stones would have been put in there for a very significant purpose based on what these were set up for. Here's another look from the mound. You see all the stones in the distance there. Here's a hole drilled in one of the standing stones, probably looking at something setting or rising there. Here's another one of those holes in those standing stones, observing something in the distance. That is what common sense says, certainly. Part of the reason I'm doing this video is I made this video last fall, the huge mystery of Burnt Hill. And I mentioned Carahunge, and I had a few comments asking me what I was referring to. But this, coming from ancient America, reminded me a little bit of Carahunge. Here's an article I found from 9 months ago. Scientists collaborate to uncover origins of Carahunge, and two different agencies are teaming up to study the mysterious Carahunge, the prehistoric archaeological site near the town of Sisian in the Syunik province of Armenia, known as the Armenian Stonehenge. The two institutions have had long conflicting opinions regarding the structure, and now they are joining forces to find out what Carahunge, aka Zorat's Carrere, was, an astronomical observatory or a settlement that has a status of a mausoleum. Well, I'm just going to keep on reading this article while I show a few other pics here. It says, we think Carahunge, where there are more than 200 stones with 80 holes, is an ancient astronomical observatory which was studied by Carahunge. It says Haruni based some of his archaeoastronomy on the constellation of Cygnus and the star Deneb. And it says, according to another opinion, Carahunge isn't an astronomical observatory. It is simply an ancient site, a settlement which has a status of a mausoleum. So I think people were just maybe buried here, maybe important people. Seemed with the standing stones and the holes cut right through them. Observatory is the most common sense answer. Here it almost appears this is an eye, nose, mouth. Is that a face turned up? That's just the first thing I noticed. But there is no general consensus here. But there are hints that this was an observatory and there was people buried here, so maybe both these people can get together and come to a general consensus answer here. There really aren't a lot of solid answers with Carahunge here, but the most common sense answer to me certainly is they were watching the heavenly bodies, the stars, the sun, the moon. That seemed to be the most important thing to all these very ancient cultures. The dating here, probably at least 7,000 years old. That is my video on ancient Karahunge right here. You know, it's kind of here on a point, and that is pointing where? Straight west, the land of the dead. I think I will wrap it up there. If you want to check out this area on Google Earth, there's a lot of other stuff to find in the area. Somebody buried here. This was probably a necropolis. Also had stone structures with sacred alignments based on their cosmology. That is ancient Karahunge. Hope you thought that was cool. That's my second video of the day. Let me get straightened out. There you go. Hope you thought that was cool, and you all have. Very safe.